So today I have a desire to debunk some stuff. I actually might make a manifestation series debunking all of the misinterpretations, misunderstandings of a lot of the like cliche LOA sound bites we say. Things like everyone is you pushed out. That's probably the biggest one that is misconstrued and misunderstood. Or, circumstances don't matter. I kind of already addressed that in another video. But today, I want to talk about something that I was inspired by a question that someone wrote in the comments. And it was about this thing of how do you really know if something is meant for you? What does it really mean in the context of law of assumption and manifestation if something is meant for you? And I really want to address this because this is another thing that really can twist your brain and especially twist your ego and sometimes not be helpful. But before I get into it, I want to remind you that I do have links in the description below. I have a lot of courses, but most of them I have only released upon a limited availability where you would sign up and then do it as a group live with me. But now I'm changing all of that so that now my courses, you can just buy them right now as you would like to, and you can start it today, and then every day you'll be sent a daily structured next lesson for the course. And so that's now available for one course, and that is the self-concept course. That is probably my most popular course, and the reason for that is because it's so important and it really resets you at the foundation of who you are and helps you to get deeper in your knowing of yourself as the operant power. Because as I say a lot in these videos, if you don't really have a healthy identification of yourself as the operant power and a healthy self-concept in terms of a true, genuine putting yourself first before you put a manifestation before you, this manifestation stuff is just gonna cause you more suffering. It's gonna feel like it doesn't work because you are chasing something and you're not really addressing what's going on inside of you. So I've had so many people do the self-concept course and they actually see more movement with their SPs or whatever important thing they're manifesting than if they did like an SP course, which I always find a little bit interesting. So anyway, that's the first course that I now have totally available for you to buy, and you can buy it below right now and start it. So do that if you'd like. I will be releasing my other courses just over probably the next few weeks. I'll be linking those below as well. So anyway, there's that. You can also do a session with me if you want to work with me and talk about your specific situations, and I can help you get some insight on like kind of what you need to address. And then I also have an ASMR channel that I don't really do anymore, but if you like ASMR, if you like healing messages, that's another facet of me that you could explore on another channel. I think that's it. So let's get into this whole thing about your desires being meant for you. So I'm sure a lot of you have known people, maybe even your own family members, people that came before you, like your parents or whatever, talking about opportunities that got away from them or how they were let down. They really wanted something and it never happened, and they kind of almost like throughout their lifetime, they kind of carry this like, oh, the one that got away, or this was supposed to happen and then it never happened and it was ripped from my grips and I never got that job I wanted or whatever. And they have this like bitterness that comes with them through their whole life. I'm bringing this up because technically your parents or your whoever you've seen do this, it doesn't have to be your parents, it could be people in your own age group. They had an authentic desire for someone or something. Was that desire meant for them? No. Why? Because they are the operant power of their realities, just like you are the operant power of your reality. And so for whatever reason, that one that got away or the job that got away or the thing that didn't work out, that happened. Well, also because they were, of course, this is why I'm bringing up your parents, because they were very unconscious to themselves. Like they didn't know that a lot of the things going wrong in their life were coming from a part of them that they were not claiming in a deeper, more appropriate way. They were stuck in a 3D paradigm of like work hard and things work out, or sometimes love doesn't last, or what, like all those like 3D things people say to justify like why relationships don't work out, or all that stuff. And so they were really in that paradigm. So they never addressed, they never knew actually that person that got away maybe didn't need to get away. It was something within me that I could change the dynamic of within myself, and then that wouldn't have happened or whatever. Or I could have revised it, and then we could have gotten, you know, a different thing going. But I'm saying this because, again, they had a genuine desire. It was not a bad desire. The desire was meant for them. This is a better way. I just got it. This is a better way to describe it. Your desires are beyond your free will in a lot of ways. And I think I talked about this before, because they just like come to you, especially when it comes to people, your specific people. Like, you just meet this person and you're like, whoa, I just know I got this connection with this person. I cannot stop thinking about them. There's just something between me and them, and it's beyond my free will. Can't let it go. It's just the desire is here, and therefore the desire is meant for you because it's just here. You already have it. It's not going anywhere. But the fulfillment of that desire, is that what is meant for you? Only you can answer that question. And I'm bringing this up because a lot of us coaches, myself included, I have also written this in Instagram posts before. We are trying to like hack your subconscious for you. And a lot of the time, some coaches more than others, we're trying to be so overly positive and say things like it's guaranteed and it's meant for you and it's gonna happen, because we're trying to get you to freaking believe it. But it's not actually, but true. Let me just backpedal a little bit, because some of you are hearing that. You're hearing a coach say it's guaranteed or it's meant to be or whatever. And what it's doing is it's causing you to be lazy in a way. You're not actually shifting your state because you hear a coach say, oh, it's meant for you, it's guaranteed, it's gonna happen. And then you just kind of go, okay, well then that's very reassuring. I like the dopamine hit I got just from hearing someone else say that. So I'm good, I can just keep doing what I've been doing and I'm just gonna know that it's gonna happen. But a lot of you aren't actually shifting states. You're hearing someone say that it's meant for you, and it's kind of accidentally enabling you to not really go deeper in actually being that person that has it. And again, coaches mean well when we say stuff like it's meant for you and it's guaranteed. I would never say that, honestly, actually. But to say things like it's meant for you, because again, we're trying to help you. We're trying to be overly positive and, you know, never give you a shred of doubt. Some coaches especially, although it's backfiring on them because people are confused, but they're trying to be like, never have a shred of doubt and just keep going. Because, you know, again, they want to hack your subconscious for you and really help you. And for some people that works. Like, if you can just believe what they're saying, and if you really do believe, because this is again what I'm trying to ride home with the operant power thing, if you genuinely do switch into the knowing or the state or the mindset or whatever you want to call it, that yeah, that is meant for me. Like, it's a done deal. It's not even interesting to me anymore because it's like, it's just so easily accepted by me that it's meant for me. That's where I want you to get, is where it's like so easily accepted that like, yeah, of course that's happening. And not only of course is it happening, I can, because I'm the operant power, be very specific about the dynamic that I'm creating in the fulfillment of this. And especially when it comes to relationships, I'm all about that, being very specific about participating in one very particular dynamic that you're choosing your fulfillment in, and then knowing that, yeah, that's a done deal. I feel very comfortable that that's what's happening. I'm not worried about it. I'm not looking for reassurance about it. I'm not like anxiously gripping it like it better happen. That's so not the right state to be in. So anyway, I can talk forever about the simplest things, it seems like. And I say that because it seems like a simple thing, this whole idea of it's meant for you or not, but I want you to, are you getting the nuances I'm trying to point out here? Because here's another big thing that I don't like anymore about saying that something's meant for you or your desire is guaranteed or whatever, is that naturally implies a secondary power. That if something is meant for you, that kind of implies that there's a secondary God outside of you that's like puppeting your life for you. And that's how we used to think before we got into law of assumption. Now that we're in law of assumption and we really realize I'm the operant power, and that means God is alive in me, and God and me, we want the same things. Like in terms of whatever I'm choosing, whatever I'm agreeing to inside of me, and I'm saying, yeah, this is my reality. God's like, yeah, that's your reality, because God put me on this planet to be a creator. God is me creating through me. And God isn't out here being like, oh, but you can't have a boyfriend, especially not that boyfriend, that one you're trying to manifest. Like, God's not outside of you saying who's meant for you and who's not. That's just crazy. And so when we say stuff like that, it is accidentally implying that there is someone outside of you who is pulling the strings and is deciding what you can have and what you can't have. And that's the exact thing I so want you to get over, in terms of realizing there's nobody, truly nobody, no other human and no other thing in the spiritual realms or the 3D, 4D, 5D, nowhere is anyone but you saying what you can have and what you can't have. That's why you have to be so honest within yourself in terms of, what am I agreeing to? Like, what am I saying is possible for me and not possible for me? And what part of me is it coming from? Is it coming from my fear of rejection, as I talked about in another posting? Is it coming from my codependency? These are all relationships type things. You can tell that I talk about relationships all day because of the SPs, which I love SPs. I know you can all have the SP. You can have them, but again, it's up to you if it's really meant for you. Because a lot of you have been doing this for a long time and have gotten bitter because you hear a lot of coaches say, just keep persisting, it's meant for you and it's guaranteed if you just keep persisting. But you're not really seeing that whatever you're persisting in is clearly not the right thing. If you're doing it, if you've been doing this for years and you keep hearing messages that it's guaranteed, but it's like gaslighting because it's totally not happening in your 3D, all that means is that you haven't really addressed the issue you need to address, or you haven't really switched into the reality in which you know it's meant for you. Because again, it's meant for you if you say it is. But if you are unsure if it's meant for you, if you're looking for a lot of validation that it's meant for you, if you're really dependent on needing it to happen or else you're not going to be okay, that's not knowing it's meant for you. That's not a good state. Are you getting this? I want you to really see that nothing is meant for you. I mean, except the desire. As I said, the desire is beyond your free will. It just came to you. And so that was meant for you. But once you get the desire, it's up to you to decide, am I going to persist in suffering about this? Or am I going to persist in fulfillment about this? Because I'm the only one who's deciding how this is going to go. How is this relationship going to go? Now that I have this desire, this love, this connection with someone, how am I going to keep the dynamic alive? How am I going to believe in myself and the other person in relation to each other in a genuine way? How am I believing in that? And that is what determines if the fulfillment of this thing is meant for you. Because yeah, again, you could persist in lack for years and years and years and nothing's going to change. And then you could say, oh, it wasn't meant for me. Nope, it's just that you weren't persisting in the right reality yet. Simple as that. Okay, I hope this landed today, and I hope you feel even more empowered, because that's the point of me talking about this, is I really want to cut out any suggestions that there's a secondary power out there pulling the strings, deciding if you can have a boyfriend or not, and if it can be this person you want or not. And then also, I don't want you to be lazy and just watch a lot of content creators on YouTube or wherever else and think, oh, well, because they said it's meant for me, that means it's meant for me. And it's like, well, if you're still in a shitty state towards that thing or that person, I'm sorry to say it is not going to work out. Like, you are the operant power. That means you are responsible for yourself and what you are continuing to agree to inside of you. Your I am. How are you identifying? Are you identifying as it's meant for you? Or are you identifying as like, I don't know if I have it, but I like all this coach stuff that's reassuring me. I hope that makes sense. So let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are on all of this, and any other questions that you have, because I like to get your questions because it gives me some temperature checks on like what is really going on out there with you guys and what you need to know about. So yeah, thanks, and I'll see you guys in my next video. All right, bye.